Get great deals on the latest phones, tablets, and business apps with O2 Business. Hey guys, Basil here with a Nexus 6P and an HTC 10, comparing both of these awesome sounding phones for you. The HTC 10 packs stereo speakers, sort of. You've got this front firing speaker, which is kind of the highs, and then you've got this low firing speaker, which is kind of the lows, kind of the subwoofer of the pack, and they come together to make a beautiful, beautiful thing. You've also got high-res audio support from the 3.5mm jack and high-res audio headphones out of the box. Can also record up to 4K video, and the video has really great audio recording according to HTC. But you've got two of the best front firing speakers ever made on this thing. Really loud. If volume's your thing, then you will definitely want to check out the Nexus 6P. Right, side by side, how do they stack up? Quad HD screens across them both. You've got 5.2 inches versus 5.7 inches. Between the stereo front firing speaker array taking up some space in the screen size, the 6P is a bigger device. It's a big device. And that said, it doesn't look quite as Batmanish and bold as the HTC 10. The heavy beveling around the sides kind of makes it look kind of like a Batmobile. It's got a curvature to it though, so it does feel quite elegant, does nuzzle into the hand quite well. Definitely feels more elegant and curvaceous than it looks. Maybe it's because we've got the black one. Be cool to check out the silver one. If you have seen one, let us know what you think in the comments section below. As far as the highlights go, front camera is laden with autofocus and image stabilization and packs 5 ultra pixel sensor. You've also got a fingerprint scanner in the middle. It's not a physical button, but it is capacitive, so we'll activate Google Now, take you home, etc. with 2 capacitive buttons either side. USB Type-C at the base and that loudspeaker, while to the right hand side, power button, volume rocker and SD card or SIM card slot. Left hand side is the SD card slot. Unlike the 6P, this is expandable, and it's not only expandable, it packs adoptable storage. So you can imbue your internal storage with the SD card storage as well. 12 megapixel optically image stabilized rear camera. You've got a laser autofocus and a dual tone flash. No wireless charging. You do have NFC, however. Right, 6P time. A fingerprint scanner around the back to unlock. I've actually got this loaded up with Android N, so if it's a little bit buggy, Android N is to blame. You've got those front firing speakers, front camera, USB-C at the base. Right hand side, you've got volume rocker and power button. Left hand side, it's just SIM card slot. This is not expandable, unfortunately. 3.5mm headphone jack up at the top, rear facing 12.2 megapixel camera, dual tone flash and NFC contact point within said glass strip. Fingerprint scanner works a treat across both devices on first impression, and their functionality is identical, save for the fact this one will take you home, as well as unlock your phone and securely access applications. As far as the UIs go, screens go, let's start with screens. It's AMOLED versus SLCD 5. We haven't really tested them out too thoroughly, so we're going to hold off before we do. First impressions, both super sharp, super vibrant. The AMOLED screen at low lights tends to look a little bit pinkish off angle. We can say the same for the SLCD screen on first impressions, though unlike with stock Android, with HTC Sense's experience, you can actually customize the display color profile, so you can adjust warm things up, cool things down, which is really sweet. Taking a look inside, it's stock Android versus HTC Sense. This is a new version of stock Android, so not one that many of you will be familiar with. While you can expect vertically scrolling applications tray, you've got a 2-tier pull-down bar. The 2-tier pull-down bar is actually pretty interesting. You can see you've got those quick toggles up at the top which you can access, but you can pull everything down to give you quick access to brightness controls and more comprehensive 2 pages nonetheless of quick toggles right there. As for HTC Sense, you've got home screen, you've got an applications tray, and to the left hand side, were I to have it activated, I would have blink feed, but I have switched blink feed off because I personally prefer my stock Android experience to be a little bit more stock. The notifications shade as well is 2-tier pull down. Would have loved an automatic brightness toggle right there and the ability to customize these, which kind of goes against me saying I like things stock, but they're the few enhancements that I've experienced on other UIs that would have really made this one a little bit better. Vertical scrolling applications tray can be customized. You can change the grid size 3x4 or 4x5, and you can also do standard things like hide your applications, show your applications in alphabetical order, etc. Ultimately, Android on both. Loads of applications, simple enough UI to navigate across, really like it. As far as the cameras go, we can't really go into too much detail, but one thing is for sure, I do not like the Google camera. It doesn't give me manual controls, the kind of focus stuff is just a little bit slow. There's just a whole load of stuff with the Google camera application that I don't love. There are some neat elements too, but you can see in spite of tapping, that wasn't in focus. Now this is just early software on the HTC 10, but it takes a photo nice and quickly, and I'm gonna guess that that is a sharper picture, and my guess came out absolutely right. So instantly off the bat, I reckon I'll probably be preferring the HTC 10 camera, but that said, video, and there are a few things that the Nexus 6P camera does it very well, so don't count that as anything too conclusive, please. Stay tuned to the channel. That's when we'll be posting more conclusive stuff. As for the front camera, the optical image stabilization, cannot wait to put that through its paces in low light selfie fantasticness. Right. As for the rest of the phone, Snapdragon 810 versus Snapdragon 820, 3 gig of RAM versus 4 gig of RAM. You've got 3,400 plus milliamps under the hood versus 3,000. So the battery on the 6P will probably last a little bit longer, but bear in mind you do have a lot more screen to power along. You've got the fastest browsing speeds on both Cat 6, LTE, etc. And I'm looking forward to seeing how a few things fare. The Boost Plus application on the HTC 10 should help keep the battery life nice and sweet, and the advanced battery optimization features in Android N should come to all Nexuses soon enough and should help this last even longer. Other multimedia is going to be very like for like. It really is going to come down to whether you want a bigger screen or a smaller, more hand-holdable experience, and of course whether you want that expandable storage which is adoptable to load loads and loads of games on, or whether you want to just opt for a 64 gig version of the Nexus 6P out of the box, because chances are if you get a 32 gig one and you game a shed load, you'll fill it up relatively soon. So that's been a quick comparison between the Nexus 6P and the HTC 10. If you like it, click that thumbs up button. If you like the channel, subscribe. It's how you'll be staying on top of everything we do and all our upcoming coverage of HTC's brand spanking new flagship phone. Thanks for watching BTech. Get great deals on the latest phones, tablets, and business apps with O2 Business.